Hello fellow hunters, this video is going to be a little different from my usual content, but with Christmas Eve upon us and 2025 just around the corner, I thought it would be a perfect time to share my Christmas Call of the Wild wishlist with you all. I'll also talk about some exciting ideas and plans that I have in store for the channel as we head into the new year, and what better way to keep things festive and the spirit alive than by showcasing some of my favorite reindeer hunts on Medved Tiger, the only Christmas map. So grab your cocoa, settle in, and let's dive into some holiday cheer while I share my Christmas list with you all. The first present on my wish list would be for non-typical animals to be in the Hunter Call of the Wild. I know this is a popular ask in the community, and it is something I would like to see personally. They could introduce it to one or two species to start with at a time, kind of like what they did with true racks. But I also wonder if the true rack system can even do this, and if it can't, maybe they can just make one non-typical rack for each level. So a whitetail, as an example, could get like 3 non-typical antlers, a silver, a gold, and a diamond non-typical. They could make it have a spawn rate like a fur, or the rare furs, where they only spawn in like, every 1%, let's say. Would just give us one more thing that we could hunt for in the game, having these non-typicals. Also, could you imagine something called like an ultra rare, a rare fur with a non-typical antler configuration? They could have non-typicals in the Hunter Classics, so I wonder if those mechanics could be transferable to the Hunter Call of the Wild. They could start with whitetail, and then blacktail, and then muleys, as they all have similar antler types. What do you think? My next Christmas wish would be a new lodge. I love Sasika Safari and Layton Trophy Cabin. I'm not the biggest Spring Creek Manor fan since it's got way too many small plaques. However, I wish they would borrow elements from each lodge and make one new super lodge. I honestly like how the Layton Trophy Lodge has set places for each animal. It's easy to just place your best rarest fallow in the fallow spot, or the best rarest Roosevelt elk that you have in the rosy spot. I like though how Sasika Safari's large rooms and open space with a ton of trophies. I like the look of Spring Creek Manor though, minus the dark lighting of course. It has the feel of a real trophy lodge. Now, if you make the trophy lodge that's as big and as open as Sasika Safari, with the aesthetics of Spring Creek and the sortability and like how you can sort the Layton Trophy Cabin, I'm all in. Let's say a large mount, you have the option to make it a locked mount, like fallow deer only, or you can unlock it and can choose any of the large animals that fit. It would not allow you to put smaller or large or extra large, which would make it easier for sorting. I'm a diamond collector, so having a spot for every diamond that's laid out for me, like the Layton Trophy Cabin, would be awesome. It just takes too much time currently to sort through and try to find some trophies as you're trying to place them, and you're sorting as long as I've been playing since 2017, so sometimes I gotta go back to trophies from 2019 when we were able to start taxidermizing those trophies. What do you think? The third present on my Christmas wish list, as you all know that I'm Canadian, so naturally a map set up in my home country has to be on this wish list. I've already shared my concept for a Northern Canada map featuring the Northwest Territories. Check it out, it'll be in the link in the description. We need a second snow map. This would be perfect. I'm just thinking like polar bears, muskox, and more. Medved is great, it's one of my favorite all-time maps, but having another snowy environment would bring so much variety to the game. And maybe EW has already hinted towards this in their winter update, where they showed that the June map might be in the winter. So who knows, maybe I will get my Christmas wish, but in June or July. The fourth present on my Christmas wish list will be a crossbow. We only currently have one crossbow in the game right now, the Crosspoint CB165, which is a compound crossbow. Like a compound bow, a compound crossbow uses a system of pulleys and several strings to shoot faster and more accurately than like a recurve. It's a better option for big game with longer range capability and power, which the one in our game does about 80 meters. I think it would be cool if they added the 2 other types of crossbows available on the market. The Crosspoint came out with the first ever weapon pack, and we've never got any new crossbows since. We've gotten new bows, handguns, shotguns, and rifles since then, so it's about time we get some new crossbows. So they could add a recurve crossbow, which recurve crossbows is a standard option with a singular bowstring. While not as powerful as a compound bow, it provides an excellent introduction to bow hunting. This could be like adding a little flair to your bow hunts, or if you want to down a great one or a huge rare with some added difficulty, you could use the recurve crossbow. And The third type of crossbow would be the reverse draw. The reverse draw crossbow is a compact option with the bow assembled at the back of the stock and the limbs towards the shoulder stock. This unique design makes it smaller overall and enhances its weight distribution, resulting in a powerful and efficient performance. This would make any loadout pretty cool with a smaller, lighter crossbow. Of course, it won't be as powerful as the CB one we currently have, and you probably wouldn't get an 80-meter range, but it would be a cool weapon to take on a hunt that could be lightweight. What do you think? Now, the fifth present that I would have on my Christmas wish list would be about great ones. Now, a great one I would like to see in 2025 would be a pig species. Hear me out on this one. The go-to would be, the wild boar, but a feral pig or a wild hog or a warthog could work as well. This may be an unpopular opinion considering some better choices like an elk or, a great one mule deer if they go back to deer species, or maybe even a lion or a wolf if they went to predators. However, I'm looking at this at like a balanced approach. Hear me out on this one. We have upland birds for class 1 in the pheasant great one that requires being shot mid-flight. We have a tar great one for the goat-like species and that covers animals that do not have drink zones like the chamois or the mountain goats. We got whitetails and red deer and fallow deer, to cover your medium-sized deer with drink zones and what have you. And then we also got the moose, which, is a deer, but it's one of those big game animals that we strive for. We have bear for the large predator, and we have the new great one red fox for the small predator. We honestly don't have a pig great one. They drink at night, are not one of the most sought after species, but would bring new life to those that are sleeping currently on the pig hunting. I can imagine a large hogzilla with a large deformed tusks, maybe some cool colors and scars. What do you think? Am I out to lunch, or do you think this would be a cool Christmas present to ask for? My last Christmas wish on my list before I go on to what I got cooking in the channel for 2025 is bringing Grand Slams to the game. In real life hunting, there are Grand Slams, and the Call to Wild has touched on this subject once and never really returned to it. We have the Ibex Grand Slam currently on Cuatro Colinas, where you can make a multi-mount of the 4 Ibexes, which is considered the Ibex Grand Slam. And in real life, this is a huge accomplishment for hunters, and they can submit their trophies and receive the honor of completing the Grand Slam. There are many other Grand Slams that could be added, albeit modified, for Call to Wild, as we might not have the total amount of species available on these type of Grand Slams. This brings a new challenge and component, as well as some cool multi-mount ideas for the game. Like the Turkey Grand Slam, we could have a multi-mount for all 3 current turkey species, and maybe get a trophy that we can add to an extra small trophy stand for something, or for completing a diamond of each or every turkey, let's say. Other Grand Slams that could be implemented would be the North America Big Ten as an example, that requires you to harvest a diamond of the Big Ten in North America: a bear, a cat, an elk, a moose, a caribou, an antelope, a bighorn sheep, a bison, and a goat. I'm sure there are other Grand Slams across the world for hunting that could be added or modified to really fit Hunter Call to Wild, and that'd be another cool little feather in our cap we could be going after in 2025. So that wraps up my wish list, but before we go, let me share some ideas for JBizHunts coming in 2025. I've got plans to dive deeper into tutorials with a herd management guide for black bears and tar to be added, a fox Great One grind guide for the new Great One red fox, which I think everyone's looking for. I want to do some more top 10s for the channel, showcasing some of my cool hunts and trophies, like my top 10 diamonds or my top 10 rares videos. I'm also working on an amazing video about how respawns really work, which I think can help people understand what goes into a respawn, how it can help you during your Great One grinds, and how it works in relation to diamonds, Great Ones, and rares. That will definitely be one you don't want to miss. I also have an idea for a video showcasing, or at least discussing, rare exclusive animals. We all know about albino, melanistic, pieballs, and leucistics, which most species tend to have those as their rare fur variations, but some of us hunters may not know what a crowned wildebeest is, or a red warthog. So a video showcasing exclusive species for their rares could be a fun video to make, and make sure that, all my fellow watchers and fellow hunters are not missing an opportunity when they see these animals that they didn't realize they were rare, and they're like, holy, I did get a rare. Also, to answer some of your questions, I am planning to do live streams in 2025. I hope to purchase a gaming computer and purchase the entire game on the Microsoft Store. Your game files are compatible through the cloud for Xbox console and Microsoft Store, so I would not have to start a new game or have an empty lodge by switching platforms. My number one will still be my Xbox console, but I'll also be using the PC for live streams so I can better connect with all of you. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a very special holidays. Here's to more adventures in the Hunter Call of the Wild going into 2025. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And as always, fellow hunters, happy hunting.